Trust Your Grace podcast, where women with ideas become entrepreneurs. I'm Kate Nowlan.
And I'm Kimberly, Caccavo. And today we are so excited to be joined by Angela Minardi. Angela, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Awesome. Well, I own a corporate team building and wellness company called Fit City Adventures. Our mission is inspiring and cultivating meaningful human connections through active team building.
Love that.
And I started the company about 2 years ago. I moved here from Boston 5 years ago.
Nice.
And knew that I wanted to start my own company as soon as I moved here. I love the lifestyle, and that's really what I wanted to build my business around.
That's amazing.
I love it. I love it. And obviously this podcast and our entire business is about women becoming entrepreneurs. So today, really taking a deep dive into what drove you there and all of that stuff behind it. But we'd love to start with just some fun questions that people
We think they're fun.
Well, they're fun for us. They might not be fun for everybody. Hopefully they are.
What's your greatest strength?
There you go. Give us
Greatest strength. I'm the ultimate connector.
Mm-hmm.
I just have this way of finding people and their similarities and bringing everyone together and having a lot of fun.
that.
Nice.
Okay, I can attest to that, actually, because
Yes.
we met and then you connected me with lots of people. So appreciate that.
Okay.
And you are a great connector. I would agree with that. Tell us about your biggest accomplishment.
I would say that it is at 30 years old, waking up and deciding this wasn't the life that I wanted to live and writing a list of 10 things. And each of them drove me to San Diego. Beach, sunshine, fun lifestyle. And I changed my life. I sold the house that I built at 25. I sold everything in it. I filed for divorce and drove my car across country with all I could fit, really. And didn't know anyone out here, but knew that this is where I wanted to be. So
I
How
love that.
inspirational. And I think
Yes.
for, really what we talk a lot about too is how do you take that really big leap and like what is that point where people feel like they're willing to do it. And so why don't you share with us one thing that no one knows about you, but you're finally comfortable and confident now
Because you're
to
sitting
share
with
it.
us.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because we just make things so easy. No,
Oh.
of course we do. But I'm curious because I feel like you went through a lot, right? 30 years old, you decided to do that.
Yeah.
And you probably, there were some tough moments within that and probably leading up to that. So what's
Yeah.
something that you can share with us now that no one knows about you?
Well, I guess my past. So I'm first generation. My dad moved from Italy when he was 18. And my grandfather was a prisoner of war. He was in the
wow.
Italian army and taken into German work camps. And he escaped. And long story short, he ended up making his way to America. And had any of that changed, I wouldn't be where I am today. And what's cool is that, my dad started his business when I was 2 years old from our garage and went into this multinational company. And so I just have that like immigrant entrepreneurial drive to succeed. So yeah, I would say it's probably kind of where I came from and the whole
Wow.
prisoner of war piece.
That's really
That's-
inspiring.
Yeah.
It might make Kimberly cry
I
actually
might.
just thinking
It
about
kind
it.
of is, but I'm
I knew you
holding
were
it
going to.
together.
I knew you were going to.
I mean, you got everything there.
I know. That's a wonderful, actually, that's great insight into you. And now that I know that too. But why don't you tell us what led you to become an entrepreneur? So whatever that means to you, tell us what that was.
Yeah. I always knew that I wanted to start my own company, start my own thing. I wasn't sure what I wanted it to be. I knew I wanted it to be connecting people, speaking, running a business. So little by little, my path kind of led me there. I started in public relations, so learning how to write, communicate. Then I moved into the nonprofit sector for a while and knew that I wanted to help people, and it was always in health and wellness. And then I worked at a large Fortune 100 company, CVS Pharmacy. I worked on their marketing team for about 7 years.
Are you the one who got rid of the long receipts?
So
Because I'd like to meet that
Yes.
person.
Partially, I was.
You're meeting her.
Partially. So I was on the digital team when we actually moved everything online and you could scan your card
Right.
to do all of that. So
Love
yes, I'm going to take a little bit
Yay!
of time for
That is your biggest accomplishment.
yes.
Because I would be a person who'd roll them up and think, how could I fit these in my purse?
I know. But you got to keep it for the coupons,
Right,
right?
but now
Yeah.
I've got the digital coupon.
Yes.
So when I'm sitting in line, I just add them.
You can thank her every time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm so excited
You're
to meet you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
That
So
might be your biggest achievement.
it's up there. It's up there. So CVS was a great experience. When I was there, I started the CVS Fit Club, which was a colleague resource group because we had 3,000 employees on our headquarters, but no gym, no fitness program whatsoever, not really healthy food at the time. This was back in 2011. And so myself and a colleague were like, we need to start this. It's going to start with walk runs every day, but it grew to fitness classes, farmers markets, organic foods in the cafeteria. And I just saw this huge need for corporate wellness. And so that's kind of where the love from that started. And then when I moved out here 5 years ago, I was traveling a lot. I was consulting, working for a big consulting company. And I was going to these great places, but I always said, I want to see the city in a fun, fit way. There's got to be a cool company that has that active lifestyle where I could be a tourist in the city. And it really didn't exist. And I was in Morocco on a bus when I came up with this idea. Right. It's obviously normal.
That's where I always have my best ideas.
Right, Jim.
Yeah.
Your 4 kids.
Right. Well, I was lucky enough when I moved out here to work for a consulting company with tons of perks, right? All the flight points and the hotel points. So I got to go to 20 countries in 2 years. And I hadn't really traveled a lot before that. But so I was in Morocco at the time, and that's where it's like, Fit City, there's got to be some kind of a company to start to do that. So I said, I'm going to start it in San Diego. And I literally hustled. I created a logo on my chalkboard in my apartment, my 1-bedroom apartment. I remember drawing it, and it's the same logo today, back in 2017, 2018.
Love it. The water, the sunset, the surfer.
Yeah. So all about the Southern California lifestyle. And then I would go to hotels and just pitch and say, hey, I've got this concierge service around lifestyle. Let me plan your yoga classes. Let me plan your volleyball events for your clients that are coming into town. And it grew and grew and grew. My first client was Taco Bell. My second client was Vans. So pretty big brand. So I knew, okay, I've got something here. And yeah, I just, at the time I was still consulting. So I was working all day, traveling, working for other companies. And then at night I would work for my company.
So you started this as a side hustle.
As a side hustle.
Nice.
Yeah. For over a year, I did both. And it got to the point where I couldn't open my laptop without either crying or feeling sick. Because I knew that I had to quit and do this full time. Like my heart was not in that, it was in this. And I couldn't give myself to it without actually taking the leap. So I quit in September of 2019. And then of course, March of 2020, something else happened that kept people apart. Whereas a team building company, you're trying to bring people together. So I had to completely change my business model, only being really 6 months in and doing everything virtually, just to create joy. And we started just shipping kits and hosting cooking classes and doing team building activities online. So now we have both. It opened up the country basically to our events. And we grew pretty fast. By just March, my revenue was $500. All of my events had canceled. I had a panic attack. And then by December, we were running 250 holiday events for companies all over the country. So yeah.
And were they virtual?
They were virtual. Yeah, they were all, it was a lot of logistics. I learned how to ship lots of things. I have 45 partners that I subcontract out to. We kind of pick the best of the best and we create these amazing experiences. So,
oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it, the Face Your Grace team.
I know. Yeah, that big team of 3 that we got going on right here. We are going to get to
yes, we are.
Well, by the way, look at where we're sitting right now in the backdrop. This doesn't get any better and certainly speaks to why you wanted to come to San Diego and the lifestyle and what that facilitated. And I'm sure it also is something that's super inspirational. We know that for people when we build Grace by Grit. It's like people look at a Southern California brand and they go, oh my gosh, I want that. I want that lifestyle or what that provides. So I would imagine now it's inspirational for people throughout the country to be able to be connected with the Southern California wellness event.
It's a huge part of it. And especially now, it's such a volatile time to keep people connected, and health and wellness is at the front of that. So it really positioned really well. And we have different verticals. We do this for events, we do this for corporate HR teams, and we do this for commercial real estate as well, for buildings, as property managers are bringing tenants back. So there's a lot of kind of options to go. And I think I saw a stat the other day there was a study that Microsoft had done that 40% of people are considering quitting their jobs in the next year.
Yes.
Most of those are women.
Right. They're home, they're taking care of kids, schedules are changing. So you have to meet people where they're at, and culture at companies is so critical. onboarding the right people and just retaining and keeping them happy. And so that's why team building is just right in the middle of that. And it's one of those things where sometimes people don't realize they need until it's too late.
Absolutely.
So you were doing this as a side hustle.
Yeah.
And sitting there looking at your regular job, which you probably love, but not as much as you loved your side hustle.
Yeah.
How did you start it? How did you make that leap from a side hustle to a small business?
Yeah, so I have a marketing and sales background, and that's really where I just started growing my client base and then getting referred business. So a lot of it was referrals, which was nice, and that started to just pick up month over month. And I basically I have my MBA, so I was just projecting out sales and when I could quit. And
Nice.
yeah.
So did you go to, sorry to interrupt you, but did you go like as specific of going, okay, when I have this much, that means I can quit my job? Did you get that specific?
To a point,
Okay.
but I didn't hit that always every month. I just literally had the faith that this was going to succeed. And
Right.
I had money in savings. I was like, I'm doing this because unless I put 100% of my time into it, it's never going to be what I want it to be. And then I had a good support system around me. I had great partners, I brought in some consultants, and it just started to grow in that way, organically. So, and San Diego is such a great place to start a city because it's such a small city where everyone genuinely wants to help each other.
Right.
And I know that sounds cheesy, but being from the East Coast, that wasn't the case.
Right.
It's like sink or swim, good luck. But out here, it's like, let me connect you, let me help you. So it's
How's
special.
your family with you leaving Boston? Do they come out and visit?
I wish they came out more.
Right.
I just have a new baby niece. She's 2 months old, so I was home a few
Oh.
months ago. But yeah, they're busy with managing properties and stuff out there, and they will come out for the holidays. Hopefully, I just
Nice.
purchased a house that I'm renovating. So
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, hopefully they'll be here to check it out.
That's
I
great.
can't wait to check it out.
Yeah.
What is your favorite
Yeah.
part of this whole experience, from the side hustle to creating a small business?
Yeah. My favorite part is the endless opportunity. Like, I'm a visionary and a dreamer, and I genuinely love what I do. It's not a job. Like, these things that I'm bringing to people to see joy in their faces. I tell people I sell fun. Like, it's
Wow.
really, it's living the lifestyle, and
Right.
it's making those connections with other humans. There's really, you can't go wrong.
Do you ever run into problems between the humans wanting to connect or not wanting to connect?
Well, because it's a challenging time, right?
Very challenging.
We've tried things with humans,
Yes.
thinking we are so fun and you will think this is fun, and our humans did not think we were fun
Our dogs do,
or
but not our
funny.
humans.
Yeah. Well, yes, there are many things that, like, if they're a nerdy group, then they've got these types of things, right?
Right.
You have to know your demographics, and that's
Right.
kind of where the marketing comes in. We have 100 options, so we take surveys and we really do the research to customize programs for companies. But for the most part, people want to get out. They want to have fun, and food and drink is always good. So that always wins.
Absolutely. So looking back from when you started this business,
Yeah.
because we have so many women that are listening that are tempted, right? They have an idea. They're not sure if they can take the leap. They're not entirely confident that their idea could turn into something. What do you wish you knew back then that you now know?
That there's no wrong decisions, there's just decisions. You just need to
Great advice.
move. Yeah, take a step forward, and people will be there to lift you up. Like, I remember the first time I met you at SDSI, I was like, this badass woman's running her own company. And it's like, okay, you have those mentors and those role models, and you just kind of keep going. And
Did she make you do
Get
push-ups?
she didn't. No.
Yeah, I haven't.
But I remember staring down at her, and I was like, she could kick my ass.
Yes, there's a slight height difference for those of you that are listening, just slightly. But yes.
Yeah, she
you know,
could,
a little-
by the way.
a little bit
I
of the
know.
other,
But she
little
was
bit
in
of
mine.
she was in a room with like 20 executives in these like big brands, and like you were the one that I remember, right? So it's just like making those connections and just keep moving. Yeah.
Love
I
that.
love that advice. And I think,
Yeah.
we've heard this a lot, and especially for women, I think it's about the doing, right? And I love what you said in terms of, like, there's no bad decisions, just make a decision, right?
Right,
And I
right.
think sometimes you make these choices or you make decisions, and maybe it's not the right one, but it's what do you do then from there, right? What's the problem? Okay, how do you fix it? What's the opportunity from
Right.
that? And certainly I've watched you from the sidelines do that. I watched you through the pandemic have to pivot your business and then thrive within that. And now you have this other challenge where is the world opening up? Is it not opening up? Are
Right.
people going back? Are they not going back? And people are sort of fumbling, and you're having to once again go, okay, how do I go now about this as you're entering your fourth quarter, which I imagine
Yeah.
you're trying to drive a lot of revenue.
Yeah.
So, okay, final question for you.
Mhm.
What is your grace?
Towards myself or to others?
Anything,
Anything.
actually. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Huh.
You can give us 2 graces.
Or 5, actually.
I just at the end of the day, I'm just with a coach and was talking through some of this. Life is not as serious as we make it, and just to have some joy and do something, one fun thing a day, and laugh. I find that that's my grace, is through laughter and making others laugh and smile. You can just change someone's day in a minute with laughter.
And change your own day, right?
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Your whole mood, and as an entrepreneur, you're in your head all the time, and you're alone all the time. And so I've joined a lot of groups that are peer groups that help you kind of get out. And that's exactly what we talked about. It's like, okay, it's tough, but look at the world around you and look at others who may not be so fortunate. We're sitting on a beach right now in
Unbelievable.
Southern
Absolutely.
California.
I know.
Just be appreciative through, have gratitude.
So what was the one fun thing you did today? I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I know. I was like, Kimberly, hello. It's us.
Honestly, yeah, it's this.
It is.
Yeah, it's usually just little things like cook a new meal or listen to a new podcast or just something to mix it up a little bit.
that's great.
I love it. I love it. Well,
I do
Angela, you are an inspiration to me, and super grateful that you're sharing your story. We'd love to have you back to talk some more details at some point, because we've got lots of topics to cover within this podcast. But tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. It's fitcityadventures.com or Fit City Adventures on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
even if they're listening in Toledo, Ohio,
Yeah.
they can do a Fit City adventure there with their Toledo, Ohio team.
Yes, they can. Absolutely. We are virtual all over the country, and we do have select markets where we come and do events in person.
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's
Amazing.
fantastic.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you to all of you that listen to this Face Your Grace podcast. If you are on Spotify, make sure that you like us and check us out on YouTube. Go to YouTube, plug in Face Your Grace podcast, and make sure that you subscribe. We are so
Please.
grateful.
Yes.
Absolutely. And once again, thank you, Angela. Check out Fit City Adventures. It's awesome. I'm a super big fan. And we will see you next time.
Thank you for being part of our adventure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.